tuning in to the first installment of Star Media TV. I am Gina Scott Hawkins, and I am excited today because I get to have an awesome first guest. This is Darren Fishburne from Helping Hands for Freedom, and we go back a couple years, and he's in town to promote an awesome event. So I wanted to bring him on and introduce you guys to him, and so he could share a little bit of information about his event and his charity and what they have going on. So, Darren, welcome.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate being here.
No problem. Can you tell us all about what Helping Hands for Freedom is and how you got involved?
Well, Helping Hands for Freedom is a 501c3 national nonprofit that takes care of our military families that die for our country. Mm-hmm. When you pay the ultimate sacrifice in the military, you have till the end of the month to get off base, and as well as you have a little time in between where you need your death benefit monies. And so we take emergency assistance fund, pay these families their emergency assistance until they get their death benefit, and then we run camps and programs for the kids for the rest of their life. And then one of the things I'm most proud of, as you know, you saw us launch it, was the Dream Chaser program. And Dream Chaser is imagine hugging your loved one goodbye. Be good for mommy, be good for daddy, depending on which parents get deployed. And when I get back, I will take you to Disney, I'll take you to the Gaga concert, I'll take you to the ball game. These promises are made every day by every soldier as they leave.
Yeah.
Because they want the kids to feel at ease. But now they don't make it home. What happens next? So we recreate that promise, and we recreate the dream after the funeral. And these kids get their promises kept by their parents, from their parents, by their parents. And it's a very rewarding, part of my job, as I get the honor of making this happen.
Wow, that is just truly amazing. And, you know I've been involved with several different events that you guys have hosted over the course of a few years, but tell our listeners and our viewers why you decided to get involved with Helping Hands for Freedom.
The reason I got involved is for years I was the executive director of the Fraternal Order of Police, and we did call-outs for our men and women of the state of Indiana that got shot or injured or was going to pay the ultimate sacrifice as a law enforcement official. And I started working with them behind the scenes, working with the families, and started seeing the sacrifices they made and trying to help them rebuild their shattered lives. And then on July 10th, 2008, the call came out, and it said Fishburne. And as you know, it was my nephew. And it hits home when it's your own.
Absolutely.
And the chief's office called and asked me if I would personally call my brother, which was Sergeant Dennis Fishburne on the same department, to let him know that his son was in an ambulance and was not expected to live.
Wow. Yeah.
It changes your life forever.
Yeah.
And it's not about the money anymore. It's not about what you do for a living, but it's about who you can help. How can you be more thankful that we live in this country we do, and we live in the things. We complain about stuff that don't matter.
Right.
So now when I go out to talk to these people, Gina, I go, do you know you just got in a fight and an argument, and you just did this. Someone just died for our country. Someone just got diagnosed with cancer.
Right.
And at the end of the day, does this really matter?
Yeah.
So now when I speak at all these national conventions and I go around, at the end of every speech, I just simply say, I don't want you to, everybody has a donation budget, whether it's 50 cents in a cup with a local guy down on the corner to a multi-million-dollar operating budget like a Wells Fargo or someone has.
Right.
And so I tell them, whatever your budget is, whether it's 10 cents or 10 million, you should give 10% to a military charity. I say, don't quit giving to cancer. My mom died of cancer. Don't quit giving to autism and research and philanthropic causes like naming the zoo and the museums after you, because kids enjoy that.
Yeah.
But whatever your budget is, give 10% to a military charity, because unfortunately freedom is not free.
Absolutely.
It is paid with life, blood, and limbs.
Yeah.
And those are the families we get the privilege of helping. And unfortunately, we get a lot of credit, but we can't do it without money.
Right.
So I always ask people, just give us 10%, and we wouldn't have to say no to a family ever again.
Wow. And I've heard you tell that story many times, and it still amazes me that still I can see you almost get teared up just by talking. And when you have a personal relationship or you're personally invested into a charity that you work for, it just makes you that much more effective as a leader of that charity to be able to go out and carry out the mission of what you guys are doing. And it's just amazing what Helping Hands for Freedom does. what I also wanted to share with everyone is what brings you back to Indiana today? Because I know you're headquartered out of Phoenix, Arizona. Is that correct?
Yeah, home office is Phoenix, Arizona, but our largest operating office is right here in Indianapolis. And as you know, our founder, Staff Sergeant Patrick Shannon, a local Parameridian kid that graduated in, I think, 87, 88. And he was in the Marines for 20 years, or in the military for 20 years, and two-time Purple Heart recipient. He's been nominated from everything from the Naval Cross down to the National Wounded Warrior of the Year, the NFL Wounded Warrior of the Year, the Jim Beam Wounded Warrior of the Year. I mean, he's won every Sam Walton Hero Award. He's won every possible thing, and it's because of his heroism. When he saved all these people on the battlefield, his story of heroism was recorded by Senator Lugar at the time, was in charge of the Joint Armed Forces Commission.
Okay.
And he permanently etched that story of bravery in the Library of Congress. And when Patrick was in Walter E. Reed, every soldier says, "Sarge, I don't care if I die. I don't care if I lose another limb. I signed up." But their biggest concern is no one's helping the family. No one's helping my spouse. No one's helping my children. And that was their only concern. You think most people's worried to death about themselves, and they weren't. So because of that, we have our Heroes Gala every year. And that's why I'm in town, to answer your question, is on Friday night, we're going to throw a VIP show and thank our soldiers and our military men and women for everything they do. We have comedian Greg Hahn, retired Marine captain from the Marines, and he's on the Bob and Tom Show and Conan and all those major shows. Years ago, ended up entering Star Search and won. For you young people, that's America's Got Talent before America's Got Talent. But it's Star Search, and he won. And so he likes to give back to military causes because he was a captain. And he says, you know what, I get a lot of credit, but it was the guys that went out were the real heroes. They were the ones with the feet on the ground, the boots on the ground. Yeah. And so he's going to entertain us both nights, Friday and Saturday. And then we have like local talent. Carson Deerseen, he's sponsored by Honer. He's phenomenal blues and rocker. We have Haley Jonay, up-and-coming teenager that's just phenomenal. And then we have J.J. Heller coming from Nashville, Tennessee. She's a singer-songwriter. She's written books. I've seen her in Phoenix. I begged her to come, and she agreed to it. And then, of course, we got our founder's daughter, Brenna Faith, and her brother, PK, has agreed to do a couple duets for us this year. They've never been on stage together at any of our events. And they're going to do it together, and she'll sing the national anthem. State Police will do the honor guard, and we're really blessed to be able to have these two events here. We'll have a live and silent auction, and we hope to raise over $100,000 so that we can take care and replace the emergency assistance fund, so that when the call comes, we have the funds to be able to say yes.
Wow. That is some great information. We are going to take a quick break. We want to thank our sponsors, Logan Street Signs and Banners, for allowing us to be here today, and we'll be right back.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage: Logan Street Signs and Banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Everyone knows it's easy to find first-run movies in the big theaters. But where can you go to watch your favorite classic movies on the big screen for the perfect night out? Why rent a flick when you can rent the entire theater? Call today to reserve our 32-seat theater for your next event, or just stop by to see what's showing this weekend. The 14 by 7 foot screen and the high quality digital surround sound system offers all the amenities you would expect from the big theaters, with a laid back atmosphere and comfortable seating of your own home. Wofford Theater at 1744 South 10th Street in Noblesville gives you the classic movies you want with a big theater experience.
welcome back to Star Media TV, where we are here to promote amazing people, places, causes, and events that are going on in the community. And right along with that, we're going to welcome back Darren Fishburne as our guest today. He was talking about some of the amazing work that Helping Hands for Freedom is doing. And so we wanted to talk a little bit more this segment about what Helping Hands does for folks right here in Indiana, some of the things that they have coming up, and other things that they're doing maybe behind the scenes that are affecting our community right here. So Darren, would you want to share some of those things with us?
Yes, thanks for asking. Some of the things that we've worked together before, and you promoted and was my partner on the Nelly Block Party, and we had Murph Lee and Nelly and Chingy and some of those guys come, and we did a wonderful block party at like Midwest Sports Complex, and we had this event where the community could come together and see these guys not up on stage, untouchable, but right down with them and interacted with them and be able to have that. And when we have events like this, what it does is it allows us to tell our story, first of all. But second of all, we had over 120 or more soldiers at that event. And that allows them to be able to get out of their comfort zone and get back into society, because people don't realize what PTSD and some of these things are. They hear the backfire, they hear the drill, they hear the noises, they hear a gunshot, they immediately go into that retreat mode and that defense mode, and they don't realize that they can't always just go back out into society and be normal.
Yeah.
You're trained almost like a robot, and you see things that people just don't want to see ever in their life, and they see it not once but over and over and over again, and it's repetition you don't want.
Oh, sure.
And so these things, to make them laugh or to make them smile or to get their mind off of something, is fun for them. As you know, we do a lot of comedy shows because every doctor and counselor that we talk to says laughter is the best medicine.
Yeah.
And we try to make these men and women laugh again. And it heals them from the inside out. It really works.
Yeah.
And at the bottom of every one of my emails, I go, challenges in life are inevitable. They're going to happen to all of us, Gina. Every one of us have problems.
Yeah.
But suffering is optional.
Right.
And we want to get their mindset set to where they realize they don't have to suffer. They're not alone, and we want to take that off of them, whether it's finances, whether it's help, whether it's counseling, whether it's just to get away in a safe environment to where they don't have to look over their shoulder. And so we try to take that suffering piece off, because these men and women, they deserve it.
Yeah.
We take for granted our everyday freedoms and things just as human nature. It's not that we mean to.
Right.
It's life.
Yeah.
And we don't realize what an amazing country we live in. And so we want to complain about the little things. And, I tell people, during that fight or argument, during that complaint session, do you realize someone just died for our country? Someone just got diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
Is it really that heavy?
In the big scheme of
In the
things.
big scheme of life, is it really that heavy that the Xbox quit working, or
Right.
you're mad at the guy that cut you off on the side of the road and all that stuff? So
Right.
we just try to have this interaction with the troops and let them know that they're loved and they're not alone.
And so tell me about, don't you guys have a farm out in Greenwood that you guys do some stuff at?
Yeah.
Tell me about that and what you guys do out there.
Well, we do a military boot camp every year, and Larry Knotts, he's a retired military guy from Vietnam, and then he went in police department over the last 20 years. And so he loves public safety, he loves military charities. And so we go down to his farm in Greenwood, and we have a military boot camp every year. And we recreate what these kids' parents went through. We do gun safety. They get to shoot a .38. They get to shoot a 9mm. They get to shoot an AK. But they're with firearm instructors that know how to handle this, because a lot of these kids are going to inherit their parents' weapons and stuff.
Sure.
And we want to know when they get old enough to handle them, they know what they're doing, that they don't look down the barrel, that they don't point at anybody. And then we do tug of war, rope climb, time trials, belly crawl. And we do all these things that these soldiers and their parents went through, because they want to know what they went through. Like the kid last year that we honored, his mother got pregnant on leave. And so when Dad went back over, he got killed in combat.
Oh, wow.
So he didn't know Dad. He didn't get to hear the stories of what boot camp was like and what these things were.
Yeah.
So he was our guest of honor last year, and he got to see everything that Dad went through on a small scale,
Sure.
a fun scale.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Walmart provides all the food, and we feed everybody, and we sit around and talk. We have the police department come and do trainings. We have the military there to do exercises, and it's just a way to allow these kids to see what their mother and father went through as they got deployed.
Okay, those are some amazing things that you guys are doing. And again, the real reason why you're in town this week is to promote this weekend's festivities that are going on at the Indiana Grand Casino. They are having the VIP and meet and greet night on Friday.
Yes.
Okay.
Friday night at 7 o'clock, the doors open at Indiana Grand Racing and Casino. We're in the non-smoking horse track part, so even if you don't gamble or even if you don't like smoke, you can go enter right through the outside elevators at the horse track. All age event. It's opens at 7. Show starts at 7:30. I will MC and host that night, and we'll have the full concert for everything. We'll provide some snacks and fun for everybody that comes. And then on Saturday, and we have, by the way, on Friday, about 50 tickets left. That's it.
Okay.
So get them now, and it'll be sold out. And then on Saturday night is our annual gala, and this is where we'll do the Wounded Warrior of the Year, local hero right here in Noblesville, his parents, the Timothy Jake Laird Award. He was a police officer, got shot and killed in 2004, and his parents started a foundation, and all that money goes back to public safety. Because they had 3 boys in the Marines at the same time, deployed at the same time.
Wow.
So imagine that stress as a mother and father.
Wow.
And then one finally makes it home, and you get that little sigh of relief. And then he goes on the police department and gets shot and killed August of 2004.
Wow.
And so this foundation is phenomenal, and all their money goes back to heroes. And they don't keep any of it. They have no overhead. They're right here in Noblesville. And their annual golf outing is every August at Pebblebrook.
Okay.
At the golf course there, and we rent out both courses, and I get the privilege of coming back with Jerry Baker, which lost his kid right after 9/11 in 2001. He was gunned down by the fairgrounds in a pursuit, and they opened fire on him, and he never quit pursuing. So these are the people I call my friends, and I wish I didn't know them, because that means their loved ones would still be alive.
Sure. Real quick, can you give them the website for Helping Hands for Freedom?
Yes, it's www.hh4f.org, hh4f.org, or you can spell it all the way out, helpinghandsforfreedom.org.
Okay. We are going to take one more quick break, and we'll be back in just a minute for our third segment, and thank you for tuning in.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage: Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Everyone knows it's easy to find first-run movies in the big theaters. But where can you go to watch your favorite classic movies on the big screen for the perfect night out? Why rent a flick when you can rent the entire theater? Call today to reserve our 32-seat theater for your next event, or just stop by to see what's showing this weekend. The 14 by 7 foot screen and the high quality digital surround sound system offers all the amenities you would expect from the big theaters, with a laid back atmosphere and comfortable seating of your own home. Wofford Theater at 1744 South 10th Street in Noblesville gives you the classic movies you want with a big theater experience.
back to Star Media TV, where we are here with Darren Fishburne of Helping Hands for Freedom. And we've talked a lot about what the charity has done and your big event coming up this weekend. But what I really want folks to know is how can they get involved with what you're doing, and what do you have coming up that will allow them to participate on a bigger scale?
We have a lot of things coming up. We're really in need right now because after our gala's over, obviously the boot camp's coming up. We're going to have to have volunteers for that. We just invented an app for both operating systems, Android or your iOS operating for your iPhones. And if you type in HHFF, just HHFF in your search on the App Store, it will automatically pull up our flag icon. And it's a free app, and it'll show you where we're going, what our campaign is, what TV stations or whatever we've been on. It'll show all of our media partners that we've done, like today will be on there. And then it will also allow you to donate. And we're asking everybody in America that downloads this app, and they don't have to, it's completely volunteer, but there's a donate icon. Click on it. We're asking for $1 a month.
Wow.
Automatic renewed, where we can bill you monthly on your PayPal account or whatever you choose. And we're asking for $1 a month. That's it. Automatic renewal for 12 months. And if everybody that is listening to this message cares about the country they live in and would do this, then there wouldn't be one Hoosier family in need that we receive. That's it. $1 a month. Some people give 10. We had a guy the other day do it and do 50.
Wow.
I don't know your budget, but we're
Yeah.
only asking for $1.
Wow.
Because if you can do that, then we wouldn't have to say no. I have the greatest job in the world when I get to say yes.
Yeah.
When I get to say no, I scramble. I call and beg for money. And we want to be able to get out of that rut to where now the answer is yes, and fill in the blank later because we have the funds to do so.
Sure.
So that's the first way, Gina. The second way is on Saturday night at our Heroes Gala, we're going to launch the Walk Across America.
Oh.
Officer David Roth from IMPD is going to walk with his good friend Kevin Witten, which is a teacher at Beech Grove High School. And the two of them are going to walk on behalf of our heroes. They're going to start in Atlantic City, April of next year, and they're going to go all the way to San Francisco on foot.
Wow.
It's 3,091 miles.
Wow.
And we're going to do a campaign for this in every state. And we're going to kick it off here because we're all from here.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Hoosier Cares, Indiana Cares Project. It's going to be called the Indiana Cares Project because Hoosier hospitality is one of a kind.
Sure.
And we're going to kick it off here this weekend at the gala. So it's going to be something to look forward to. And we're going to give sponsorship opportunities from clothing sponsors, shoe sponsors. We need vehicles to drive. We need gas cards. But we're going to film this thing all the way across and make a documentary to show all the soldiers that come out to walk with us. We have Chris Bain. He's a staff sergeant that's a Silver Star recipient that saved his entire platoon when they got ambushed and put him in the foxhole and locked the gate, and then he had to run for his life because there wasn't room for him. He
Wow.
got blown up over 100 feet, thrown, and was supposed to be a double amputee, and spent over 3 years having over 100 surgeries in Walter Reed to make himself functioning again.
Wow.
And they put battery packs in his butt, literally. I mean, he has TENS units going up and down. And he goes around and talks and laughs about it. But at the end of the day, these are the serious problems they face. So the Walk Across America is going to bring awareness. It's going to bring sponsorship opportunities. But most importantly, it's going to build a retreat home. So when these men and women die, they have a place that we will call them. They will be assigned to SOS, Survivor Outreach Services, and then they will know to call us, and they have a place to go to. We'll go pick their stuff up from the base. We'll put it in a pod, storage, 2-minute truck. We'll go get it, whatever, and then we will put them in this home where we can help them rebuild their shattered lives, give them free room and board, pay their emergency assistance until they get on their feet and get their death benefit. And that's why the Walk Across America has been created, is to build this home so that these men and women that deserve it have a place to go.
Wow. I mean, that's just so such an awesome thing to be involved with. Wow. So, again, for people that want to get involved, they can download the app.
Yes.
They can go online and sign up to be a volunteer.
Yes, if they go online to our website, hh4f.org or helpinghandsforfreedom.org, spelled out. Either way will get you there, and there's a volunteer thing. And you could say, hey, I want to volunteer only in this state or only in this zip code. And it will, the guy wrote a software program, it'll let us know when we're in that area to pop up, oh, you got 17 volunteers.
Oh, wow.
So that way, it can be pinpointed, so I don't ask you to come out to Columbus, Ohio, if you want to work in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Sure.
And so that's a great opportunity for people to sign up as well as get involved. There's ways, I would love to see them Friday night when I host the variety show.
Okay.
Not only will they have an amazing show with national talent, local talent, and some of these people charge $50 just to cover their show by themselves, let on all of them on the same card. But everyone that's over 21 is going to get a couple of free drinks of their choice. Under 21 will get a couple of free soda pops. And we're going to provide free snacks for everybody just for supporting the troops. Indiana Grand Racing Casino pays for this whole thing just to say thank you to the troops. They have an 80-foot flag draped over the side of their parking garage, and they line the entire drive with flags saluting the troops for our Heroes Gala.
Wow.
So it sets the mood when our families get there.
Yeah.
We have helped multiple Ghost Star families. Ghost Star is the only star that the military gives that's never given to the soldier. It's always given to next of kin because the soldier's not there to receive it. To become a Ghost Star family, it means you were killed in combat, killed in action.
Yeah.
And that's a club that you don't want to belong to. That's a club that unfortunately happens all too often.
Yeah.
But when it does happen, it's nice that there's organizations like ours that will help them pick up their pieces and honor them. And we have multiple Ghost Star families from this town, one from right around the corner, that will be there. And it's nice to say thank you. It's nice when they see all these people come together for a cause that they know is going to help them or
Absolutely.
the next person like them.
Right.
It makes them feel like their loved one didn't die in vain.
Right.
And that's the most important about this thing for them. Because they've already been honored, they've already had their thing, but this is a way they get out and see how many people truly do care about this amazing country we live in, and that it doesn't get taken for granted, and that their loved one, their son and daughter, their husband or wife, their parent didn't die in vain.
Okay. So if people want to get tickets for Friday night's event, how can they do so?
They could call 432-1081, 432-1081, and they could buy tickets online. We'll have them at will call. They can pay with credit card over the phone, or they can buy them at the door while supplies last. But 432-1081.
And again, tickets are $25 for adults. That will include 2 drinks, a $10 gaming card, and free snacks, correct?
If you're 21 and over, a $10
Right.
game card card. If you're not 21 and over, then your ticket's only $15 for a kid's ticket.
Yeah, and you can bring the whole family out. So definitely want to support Helping Hands for Freedom. We are almost out of time. I want to thank Logan Street Signs and Banners for being our sponsor, and thank you all for tuning in to the first edition of Star Media TV.